Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today, we're going to take a look at some NBA action.
Oh, right.
Specifically, we're looking at the top 5 plays of the night from Thursday, March 20th, 2025.
Okay.
As always, we're going to be looking at the NBA's official YouTube channel for this. And, everyone loves to watch highlights, but we're going to go a little bit deeper today. We're going to try to break down what makes these plays special, what makes them unique, why they were chosen as the top 5 plays of the night.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there's definitely an art to it. It's not just the flashy plays. Sometimes it's the little things that really make a difference. The great defensive plays, or the really smart passes. So yeah, it'll be fun to kind of break those down.
All right, so let's get started with number 5.
Okay.
This play features the Golden State Warriors, and it starts with Steph Curry, of course. He kind of, dishes this behind-the-back pass to Buddy Hield,
Right.
who then redirects it to Jonathan Kuminga. Now, Kuminga drives the basket, gets the N1, but he, barrels into the stands. I mean, this guy was determined to get that basket.
Yeah. He definitely wanted to finish strong there, and I think what's interesting about that play is you've got the flash from Curry with the behind the back pass, but it's really a team effort. Hield makes a really smart play, to redirect that pass, and then Kuminga, with the power and the athleticism to finish.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those plays where it just, all comes together perfectly.
Right.
All right, let's move on to number 4. This one features Jimmy Butler. This is a great defensive play. It's a block, but it's way up high.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy he just leaps off the court.
Yeah, it was an impressive block for sure. I mean, you talk about timing, just to be able to get up that high and time it perfectly, to block the shot at its highest point. I mean, that's pretty special.
So that one's all about athleticism.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, we've got a first-timer on the list, Bronny James of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, what's really cool about this one, this isn't, like a big dunk or anything like that. This is actually a huge dime that leads to a score by Marcus Morris.
Yeah, it was a really nice pass by Bronny. And, it shows, his court vision and his passing ability. And, for a young player like that to make a play like that on the big stage, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to feel pretty good for him to, kind of make his mark like that.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so moving on to number 2, I've got Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers, and they're calling this a beautiful block.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is just a wall.
It really is. And you know what I like about that play is it's not just about athleticism. He entirely reads the play well. He anticipates, what the offensive player is going to do, and then he's just there to shut it down.
Yeah, he's got like a sixth sense almost.
It seems like it, yeah.
All right, and for the number 1 play of the night, it's Miles Turner again. Now, this time, it's not a block. This is all about speed. This guy is turning on the afterburners. He just explodes down the court for the finish.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing to see. He really showed off his athleticism on that play, and to be able to, have that kind of speed and quickness and then finish strong at the rim. That's a special combination.
I mean, it's great to see him on here twice, right? He had a great night and with 2 completely different plays.
Exactly. And, to be able to dominate on both ends of the court like that, with the block and then, the fast break finish, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. So, when we look back at these 5 plays, I mean, there's so much variety here, right? We've got incredibly passing. We've got amazing defense. We've got guys just, flying through the air.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great showcase of all the different skills that it takes to be successful in the NBA, and you've got a mix of, established stars like Steph and Jimmy Butler, and then you've got, up-and-coming players like Kuminga and Bronny James and Miles Turner. So it's really a good mix.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like I said, we love to watch these highlights, but when you actually break them down, you start to appreciate the little things, right? The timing, the decision making, the athleticism, all those things come together to create these special moments.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that makes basketball so exciting is that, there's so many different ways to be successful. And, you can have a guy like Steph who's, just an amazing shooter and passer, or you can have a guy like Miles Turner who's, just a dominant defender.
Right.
And they can both be, incredibly valuable to their teams.
Absolutely. So for all of you listening out there, I mean, hopefully this has given you a little bit more insight into, what makes these top plays so special.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to watch highlights, but, when you can kind of understand the nuances of the game a little bit better, It just makes it that much more enjoyable.
All right, so we saw some amazing plays tonight. We saw Steph Curry doing his thing. We saw Jimmy Butler with a huge block. We saw Bronny James dishing out dimes. And of course, Miles Turner with both the block and the amazing finish.
Yep.
So as you're, watching these games over the next week, just kind of think about, what type of play really gets you going? Is it the offensive firepower? Is it the lockdown defense? Or is it, those moments where you see a young player really kind of coming into their own?
Right.
And with that, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Sounds good.